Judgmental, and, worst of all, a mean girl hiding behind a Bible. The words had stung. Alexis had always prided herself on her faith and integrity, even if her past missteps occasionally contradicted her values. Now, her return to the franchise felt like a trap. "I thought I was coming back to share my journey," she explained to Andy. "I wanted to show everyone how much I've grown since I left. But they just wanted drama." "And they got it," Andy replied, trying to hide his smirk. Alexis glared at him. "You think this is funny?" "No, I don't," he said quickly. "But you have to admit, you didn't exactly play nice with everyone. That's because they were out for blood," Alexis exclaimed, her voice rising. "I wasn't going to just sit there and let them attack me. Did you see how Gina kept bringing up my divorce? Or how Shannon called me a has-been trying to stay relevant?" "I saw," Andy said. "But you did call her a washed-up mess, remember?" Alexis groaned, burying her face in her hands. "It was a heat-of-the-moment thing," she said. "Besides, it's not like she hasn't said worse about me." The making of a villain. As the day wore on, Alexis couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. She had trusted the producers when they'd approached her about returning to RHOC for its latest season. They'd promised her a redemption arc, a chance to showcase her new life as a successful businesswoman and devoted mother. Instead, they'd edited her into the season's antagonist. Every sarcastic comment, every eye roll, every tense conversation, it had all been pieced together to paint her as a manipulative diva. "It's reality TV, babe," Andy reminded her later that afternoon as they walked their dog in the park. "They need a villain, and this time, it was you." "But why me?" Alexis asked, her voice tinged with despair. "Why not Heather or Tamra? God knows they gave them enough material." Andy shrugged. "Maybe because you're the easiest target. You're the one who left and came back. They probably thought the audience would be more forgiving of their favorites." "Favorites," Alexis repeated bitterly. "I used to be a favorite." Speaking out. That evening, Alexis decided she couldn't stay silent. She opened her laptop and began typing furiously, crafting a blog post that would set the record straight. "The Real Truth Behind the Reunion," she titled it. "I want to start by saying how grateful I am for all the love and support I've received from my fans over the years," she began. "But after watching the reunion episode, I feel compelled to address the way I was portrayed this season." She went on to explain how the show's producers had manipulated her storyline, deliberately casting her as the villain to create drama. She detailed specific instances where scenes had been edited out of context, making her appear cruel or insincere. "I am not perfect," she admitted in the post. "But I am also not the person they tried to make me out to be. I came back to RHOC because I wanted to share my life with all of you, not to be torn apart for entertainment." The blog went viral within hours, sparking a heated debate among fans. Some sided with Alexis, accusing the show of unfairly targeting her. Others dismissed her claims, insisting she had brought the criticism on herself. A new chapter. A week later, Alexis received a call from Andy Cohen. "I read your blog," he said. "And?" she asked, bracing herself for his response. "And I think you made some valid points," he admitted. "But you have to understand, this is the nature of the beast. Drama sells." "Drama sells," Alexis repeated, her tone icy. Alexis Bellino upset after RHOC reunion, SLAMS show for making her a villain. Season 18 of The Real Housewives of Orange County is officially over now that Part 3 of the reunion has aired. However, Alexis Bellino is less than thrilled with how things went. The blonde beauty blasted the show on social media and called out the producers for painting her as the season's villain. Alexis claimed she was broken and beaten down so badly by how she was portrayed. According to the returning Bravo housewife, much content was left on the cutting room floor and she has the receipts to prove it. Much like she did in a lengthy post a few weeks ago, Alexis said she plans to speak her truth since it wasn't shown at the reunion. Alexis Bellino is upset after the reunion and plans to show receipts. Alexis made her long-awaited debut during Part 3 of the RHOC reunion, but she's not satisfied with her time on stage. After watching the reunion, the 47-year-old took to Instagram, expressing anger that some important moments were left out. Katie Janella recently teased that Alexis' receipts at the reunion might change viewers' opinions. However, we didn't see any of that. It's unfortunate that I didn't get the opportunity for these receipts to be shown at the reunion, reasoned Alexis, who noted that she will be showing them this week. She continued, I have been beaten down so badly, so wrongly, and so many truths left out. So much left on the cutting room floor that would have never brought so much hate to me and my family. Alexis spent most of her time at the reunion defending John amid his heated lawsuit with Shannon. She touched on how it had been finalized and jabbed at the mom of three, noting she finally had to pay because the evidence would have squashed her in court. Alexis slams RHOC for painting her as a villain. Alexis might be one and done with RHOC due to her displeasure at how she was portrayed, and the reunion might have been the final straw. In the long Instagram post, she bashed the show and noted that if she knew she was being brought back this season to be the villain, she would not have signed on to do the show. Alexis also defended her man, Johnny J, in the post, claiming that season 18 was a success at their expense. I will now use my own platform and my voice to share the truth with you because I do not live in toxicity, falsehoods, hateful behavior, victimhood, or lies, she added. Alexis Bellino sat cross-legged on her beige velvet couch, a glass of red wine balanced precariously on the armrest. She scrolled through social media, her perfectly manicured fingers trembling with frustration. The reunion episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County had aired the night before, and her name was lighting up the internet, for all the wrong reasons. I'm done, she muttered under her breath, tossing her phone onto the coffee table. Her fiancé, Andy Bone, entered the room, concern etched across his face. Lex, you've been brooding all morning, he said softly, taking a seat next to her. Talk to me. Alexis sighed deeply, her chest rising and falling in a dramatic flare that seemed rehearsed but wasn't. It's like they had this narrative already written. I didn't stand a chance, she said, her voice cracking. Andy handed her the wine. What narrative? That I'm some kind of villain, she snapped, taking a sip. I come back for one season, and suddenly, I'm the bad guy. It's absurd. The fallout begins. The reunion had been brutal. Hosted, as always, by Andy Cohen, the show's finale had devolved into a shouting match, with Alexis at the center. The other women had accused her of being fake.